Welcome, everyone. All right, so we look like we have our presentation ready to go. So we will be introducing ourselves in a minute, but we will just kick off with, I've said hi, and so Anka, shall we begin?
Yes. Warm welcome from my side as well. Good morning from the ones from Iceland. Good afternoon from the ones from Romania. And I don't know if we have other countries for now. Shortly on the agenda, I think I need the next slide. The agenda of our virtual encounter today. The first hour will be dedicated to sharing our journey within the project Connection Regenerator, respectively the aims of the project and the activities that we pursued together, the content that we created for promoting regenerative lifestyles, including two podcasts on with intergenerational conversations. Then we'll have some time for questions, a short break, and the second hour will be devoted to running our first online offers and needs market. I'm Anka, and I'm coming from one of the partner organizations in this project, My Bina. I'm shortly on myself. I'm a human ecologist, an aspiring botanical artist, and a catalyzer within this grassroots NGO that I co-founded more than 16 years ago in Iași, Romania. For the ones that don't know, this city is located at the very eastern border of the European Union. My Bina, here we have an infographic in Romanian, but My Bina stands for, or means for the better, and the words that accompany our name and our logo, ethics, ecology, equity, reflect the holistic approach that we have on capacity building for resilience and sustainability. Our work is distributed in 5 main action areas that are interdependent and are often overlapping: human ecology, social economy, education for sustainability, civic engagement, and research. Maybe next.
I need to remember to unmute myself. Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm from the organization Totelly, the other partner organization. We're based in Iceland. I'm part of a core team of 3, so myself and Dotry, would you like to raise your hand? He's also part of the core team, and Dumitrita, she's traveling at the moment, so she couldn't join us. So Totelly is a young organization in comparison to My Bina. We've been going for about 4 years now, 2 years as a registered company. We're a social enterprise. We have 3 core pillars as our main focus. So everything we do has one or all of these pillars included within it. The first one is, as you can see, self-connection. So being aware of ourselves and tuning into who we are as a person and how we can thrive in our lives. Connection with others. So how do we relate to each other, our relational experiences, and building community. And nature connection, where we connect with nature, but also remember that we are part of nature. And we create experiences and events, as well as online tools that incorporate all 3 of these. Please. Right, so this is what the webinar is about. It's about the final event that we're having in relation to this wonderful project that we were funded by Erasmus+. Very grateful for this experience that we've had. The project, as you can see, is called Connection Regenerator. And the purpose of the project is multifaceted, focusing on creating organizational, individual, and community learning about community development and sustainability. And the objectives of the project were manyfold. Of course, the first one would be to create a strategic partnership. To have, and we will talk through this throughout the webinar, what were the outputs, because that's what we're presenting today. But just to summarize, we had an in-person transnational seminar. We had online offers and needs market training, educational materials in sustainable lifestyles, community offers and needs markets events, and of course this webinar. And you can go to the next slide, which will include everything I just said. And so what we aim to achieve from this is this wonderful relationship that we've now co-created with My Bina. It's been a wonderful journey with them. I would say that we're friends at the end of this and have a really good working relationship, and we hope to continue that going forward. Our learning experiences, so very much Erasmus Plus is about adult education. So the areas that we wanted to focus on in adult education were related to the idea of thinking globally, acting locally, learning and training about the offers and needs market, relational and communication skills, regenerative worldview, building community, making responsible use of our resources, building healthy habits, and conscious use of technology, cultivating mental and physical well-being. So this is just a few of the outputs that this project has created, and I think it's been a beautiful experience, and we'll talk more about that in the next slide. So next slide, please.
I think not next slides, but some slides before. We have to go back to the...
Let's go back.
Just to say...
Oh, wow, we went way forward.
And one more back.
One more back. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, now that's it.
So just some words on my side on this transnational seminar. That was our very first activity that allowed us to meet each other. I mean, to meet in person. It was our very first activity, and I want to share more, to share it in a more personal way, to recall the fact that when we found out about this project, about the financing of this project, it was the very New Year's Eve of 2024. And then everything happened very fast in the beginning of the year that seemed already to be pretty charged. And we were able to schedule this week only at the very end. I mean, the last days of the deadline, in the last week of spring of March 2024. And 6 persons from Iceland came to Yash, and from our community, about 10 persons participated in this activity that followed peer-to-peer approach on adult education for regenerative lifestyles. I will now not go through all the details. I will just say once again that the respective work week was of the previous year was the most enriching and the best one from not only from my point of view but from my colleagues as well. It allowed us to pause from our routine, to escape a bit the comfort zone of our daily routines, to stop and reflect on the meaning and the impact of the work that we are doing while we had to share it to our friends, as Tanya said already. Yes, and it allowed us to connect among ourselves as well, and as you can see from the pictures, to nature as well. So the 3 pillars of Totelly work were very well reflected in this experience and supported it. I felt the profound feeling of gratitude that is still present for our partners, but as well for my colleagues, and for being able to work in this field, to find meaning, to find meaning, and to find as well means to connect with nature while doing it. Next slide, I think. Next slide now.
Okay, so yes, and I echo that. It was a very beautiful experience to share it with all the people that came with us. To Margarita's on the call here. I saw, sorry, I had it. And we had Joffrey with us, Dimitrita, Diana, and Katla. So that was our team going over to Yash, and it was a very wonderful experience from our side as well. Very enriching, as you said. So what you see here is we did, as part of this project, we assigned, or we got 6 local facilitators, both in Iceland, and then 6 facilitators in Romania. And so as a cohort of 12, we had 2 separate trainings, one in May and the other was in October. Is that right? Yes. Or April. No, it was April and October. And so the first one, this is training offered by the Post-Growth Institute. And they're an organization based in the US, and they are the original providers or the creators of this process called the Offers and Needs Market. And you will get a taster of this at the end of this session. So the first training is to just learn the process and get familiar with how to run an offers and needs market. And then the concept is, once you've got this training, then you go out into the world and you go practice your offers and needs markets training. And then the second training is to go deeper into understanding how to be a facilitator and get some tools and tricks on how to navigate facilitation. And so throughout this, we had both online training, and then we did the practice of having the events. From our side, we had 6 facilitators, Margarita, again, she's on the call, Pablo, Dumitrita, Joffrey, Diana, and Eva, who were part of our team from Iceland. And I'm sure Anka can share from her group. And I don't remember if it's the next slide. Can we see the next slide? Yes, so now just to share with you our offers and needs events that we had in Iceland. So as I mentioned, these were the lovely people who went out in the world and created some ripple effect of community experiences. And we had some really lovely ideas that came through of this. So the idea was to have 6 events per country. And we overdid it, and we did 16 events, just because that logistically that is how it ended up being. So we did 16 events in Iceland, and it went under the banner of either an exchange fair, the cycle of care, finding wealth in community. And the groups that we reached in these events were, Rita did a few in teacher training, the interest groups, for example, a marketing group, we did an offers and needs market for them. 2 events were done for volunteers at an eco village in Iceland. A lovely Christmas market was well attended. We did it for NGOs, and there was also a Romanian speaking community offers and needs event. So I think it was a wonderful collaboration there. So thank you. This is me saying thank you to facilitators for going through the journey with us. Joanna.
As regards My Bina's events, on the next slide, we have some pictures as well. We organized 7, starting last year in July, and the very last one was yesterday, in fact, yesterday evening. That had as lead facilitator Elvis, that he's present here as well. And from our side, 7 persons took part on the course. Marcella is here as well. I saw her earlier. And some other profiles or communities that we addressed were the very first event was for our own members and friends of the NGO. Then the second one was dedicated to the clients of our green social enterprise called QUIB. There are here several pictures from QUIB in this slide. We had 2 events, one for creators and one for makers, slightly more significant or less significant difference. One for freelancers, and the one that I initiated and in which I had the role as a main facilitator was dedicated to the people concerned and interested in protecting or promoting the local urban biodiversity. Well, they were all pretty successful. I don't like to use empty words, but I don't find now another word. We could tell we can say this from the feedback and the feed forward from the participants that the most common word that the events were too short, and or that they have to happen more often. That we have to have this type of opportunities and experiences more often. And among the most touching testimonials that I want to share are the ones regarding to the initial reluctance of some people to participate because they don't feel that they have something to share, something to offer, and the unexpected amount of resources that they feel and they feel they can discover at the end, both by offering and through receiving. I think on the next slide we have the introduction for the content.
Educational material. Yes, thank you. Tanya, that was very lovely to hear that feedback. And I just to echo on that, I felt every group is so beautifully diverse because what everybody brings to the table in every offers a needs market is how unique each experience is. So it's the community building itself by being present and how they're engaging in the offer and needs process. So I think that's a wonderful reflection of how things just emerge through seeing the wealth of things you can offer just by going through the process. So yeah, we will experience it later. This will be our first online one, so fingers crossed it will go. And in 1 hour. So here we see this emerged from the experience that we had in Yash, because as it goes with projects with the application, we have a proposal of what we would like to focus on. And then in the in-person experiences, when we got into the details of what do we want to focus on and what are our topics going to be. And I really enjoyed that process in person, how it just emerged and it felt almost made to be, it just came through very organically and we came to the agreement of how we wanted to focus on the educational process. At first, the precept was it was sustainable lifestyle, but we decided to look at regenerative lifestyles. And regenerative really refers to how the term of regenerative means to create conditions conducive to life, meaning how do we feel alive within ourselves and how do we create aliveness in our relationships, in our aliveness with nature. So bringing aliveness to everything. So creating conditions conducive to life. And so we focused on 8 specific topics that we felt we would like to address with this lens of regenerative lifestyles. And also how we focused on it was how did we want to deliver this material? Was it just going to be a very factual article? And again, what also emerged from this beautifully is we felt we wanted to add some storytelling and some ideas of what is regenerative lifestyle, but also keep it very practical and something people can really put in action in their everyday lives. That was important to us. So we created 8 articles, 4 for each organization. And you will find, for example, on Totelly's website, all our articles are in English and Icelandic. And on My Bina's website, they are in Romanian. So we have all 3 languages for every article. And we also produced videos, which we will share with you, for every article. Also, so that you're aware, going forward, the articles and videos will be used in future in what is called the Totally Human app at a later date. This will be where the app users will, through gamification, encourage and growth and development in the areas of our 3 pillars of connection with others, and nature. All right, so next slide, please. So what you see here is the 4 articles that we focused on: self-care, homemaking, regenerative technology, and green spaces. Just to give you a brief summary, and then you will be zoomed into our video of all 4 topics. So self-connection was written by myself. And the focus here was to look at how do we incorporate self-care into our daily lives, with stress and burnout being a common theme nowadays. How do we re-look at looking after ourselves? And there's also tips included, which is also in the video. And also focusing on how do we become aware of our needs and feelings, and how do we bring our best selves for ourselves in our daily lives. So that was self-connection. Nature of Homemaking by Dimitrita Simeon. This explores the meaning of home through a reflection of nature as home, it being a place of safety, nourishment, connection, authenticity, and beauty. And then also thinking about how does home being really a true regenerative space for us. And then regenerative technology. The video is very well done in terms of explaining what the concept is. It's giving us an idea of, can we look at technology and looking at nature as a muse, and using it through the lens of biomimicry? Can we maybe look at technology as a means to bring about regenerative practices? But also in the article, you will also find focus on technology and how we can, what green solutions are out there on technology, the circular economy, and focusing on community events that create connection, sharing, and skill exchange. And finally, green spaces, and green tech, the Regen Technology article was written by Joffrey, who is present here. And Green Spaces is by Diana Boboko. She focuses on green spaces in city spaces and gives tips like focusing on home or community gardening, tree planting initiatives, and walking in nature and cleanups, for example. So now I invite you to listen to our video collage, which all of them together. I'm not hearing sound. Technology.
I'm not hearing the sound either.
Yeah, I can see he's working on it.
My life gets messy when I don't take care of myself. That is when I pause and I remember these simple practices to align myself with life. Time in nature for creating internal harmony, reflecting on my internal feelings and needs, rest without guilt. Play is vital in feeling alive. You are a beautiful being with your unique gifts and life experiences. Is that not worth taking care of?
I watched the campfire reignite and realized nature doesn't just survive, it regenerates. What if our technology could do the same? Give back instead of just taking. We can create tech that harmonizes with nature, inspired by its smartest design. By embracing regenerative technology and making thoughtful choices, we can actually make a difference. Even the smallest action can create a ripple effect that all add up and are equally important. Let's build a future where technology and nature thrive together, one choice at a time.
I spent most of my childhood indoors, lost in my books. Later in life, I began to connect with nature through hikes and daily walks. As I learned how to approach nature, understand it, and trust it, I also started to experience it as my home. I think home is where our needs for safety, connection, and beauty are met. Nature can offer all this if we learn its ways, respect its integrity, and open up to its wonders.
Green spaces have always been my sanctuary. They offer peace, connection, and the moment to breathe in a busy world. Time spent in nature restores my sense of balance and helps me reconnect with myself. Even in the heart of the city, green spaces remind us of the importance of nature. They are where life slows down and communities thrive. Green spaces aren't just for the planet, they are for us. By nurturing nature, we nurture ourselves. Let's protect these spaces for the peace and joy they bring.
I think you can toggle to the next slide, Barry. Sorry. Hi.
Here you can see our
That's me.
Miriam, can you mute?
So we have four videos as well on four other dimensions of regenerative lifestyles. Ours are not in a collage, but individual, and we'll play them one by one. I wrote an article and then participated in the creation of the movie on spare time. Elvis on clothing and fashion, Andrea, our colleague and friend, on food, and Christina on connection with all beings. Maybe we can just play them, they're a bit longer. Again, there is no volume, but...
Tânjește după ceva mai profund. Călătoria mea prin lumea modei a început cu o fascinație pentru reclame și branduri, atrăgându-mă de la un simplu consumator la cineva profund conectat cu fiecare articol de îmbrăcăminte. Dar în spatele acestor țesături se ascund costuri ascunse. Majoritatea hainelor sunt produse în condiții dure, folosind procese care ne poluează planeta. Acum ne confruntăm cu un apel urgent pentru schimbare. Repararea, refolosirea și prețuirea hainelor noastre, așa cum o făceam odinioară, nu este doar o nostalgie, este o necesitate. Adoptând obiceiuri durabile, ne întoarcem la o perioadă în care hainele erau făcute să dureze, când planeta prospera alături de noi. Viitorul modei s-ar putea să se afle în meșteșugul trecutului nostru.
Gândesc la cele mai frumoase momente din viață. Îmi vin în minte vacanțele la bunici din copilărie, unde timpul părea să curgă altfel. Mai lent, mai blând, mai viu. Fără bani, fără jucării sau tehnologie, aveam totul. Aveam râuri care șopteau povești, flori care mă invitau să le culeg, iar pământul sub tălpile goale îmi cânta libertate. Astăzi lumea s-a schimbat enorm. De la 2 miliarde de oameni câți erau când s-au născut bunicii mei, la peste 8 miliarde acum. În acest timp am devenit tot mai conectați, dar paradoxal tot mai îndepărtați. Alergăm tot mai mult între destinații, între ambiții. Turismul a devenit rapid și superficial, iar timpul liber nu ne mai eliberează. Dar poate că sufletul nostru tânjește după altceva. Să se reîntoarcă la rădăcini, la natura care vindecă, la momente care ne regenerează. Hai să trăim cu adevărat. Să ne amintim că aventura veritabilă nu înseamnă să evadăm din viața noastră, ci să fim prezenți și că luxul autentic nu e confortul, ci conexiunea cu noi înșine, cu ceilalți și cu natura.
Natura suntem noi și pentru o înțelegere mai bună a acestei idei, este nevoie să experimentăm emoții ecologice și să evadăm din dualismul om-natură. Să facem tranziția de la ființe umane la ființe vii. O viziune în care să ne vedem pe noi înșine ca ființe vii, care trăiesc alături și împreună cu alte ființe vii și că tot ceea ce este în jurul nostru este necesar. Mai mult ca niciodată acum, avem nevoie să ne scuturăm de ego și să îmbrăcăm haina eco. În gândire întâi și mai întâi, dar și practic, prin îmbrățișarea unui stil de viață regenerativ. Putem alege așadar să începem să dezvoltăm o gândire critică ecologică, să adoptăm o dietă alimentară vegană, să practicăm o agricultură regenerativă. Exemple sunt multe, dar poate cel mai important este să arătăm compasiune, să exprimăm recunoștință și respect față de tot ceea ce ne înconjoară, deoarece totul este viață. Omul este mai mult decât mâncare. Reprezintă o legătură profundă cu pământul pe care călcăm și cultura în care trăim. Ne ajută să creăm emoții și amintiri prețioase, cum sunt multe dintre mesele petrecute alături de cei dragi. În prezent însă, industria alimentară se confruntă cu provocări care ne afectează planeta și sănătatea. Monoculturile și practicile agricole industriale amenință biodiversitatea, iar milioane de oameni suferă de foame sau de obezitate. Cred că, luând exemplul comunităților din trecut, putem cultiva o legătură mai profundă cu hrana prin câteva practici regenerative, cum ar fi susținerea producătorilor locali, alegerea ingredientelor naturale și integrale, reducerea risipei alimentare sau explorarea grădinăritului urban. Astfel, prin simplificarea abordărilor cu privire la producerea hranei și prin practicarea recunoștinței pentru ceea ce avem deja, putem cultiva alegeri alimentare care să ne hrănească atât pe noi cât și planeta pe care locuim.
It was nice to see them all together. It was the first time that I took the time to see them all together. And then for ourselves, at least, if the Transnational Week was the best working week of last year, this day, when we filmed the videos, was again a very, very good day for us. Another activity was the creation of 2 podcasts that we won't play now. They are pretty long. We'll share the links with the presentation, and we can share them in the chat. We created two podcasts, one in Iceland, one in Romania, with the main concept of launching and guiding discussions about regenerative living between an elder person and a young person, based on the topics and the content of the articles. The aim was to bring intergenerational perspective and to explore how these topics are reflected through the lenses of different generations, emphasizing the importance of understanding and learning from each other across generations, while we address both the opportunity and or the challenges that we face. Here in this image, you see myself in this bistro Quib, where we filmed the podcast together with Bianca and Felicia. So we had this discussion among three generations. In fact, I'm a millennial. Bianca is from Generation Z, and Felicia is a baby boomer. As mentioned, we discussed, we approached most of the 8 topics presented before, mostly on technology. An emerging theme was the interconnectedness of self-care and care for nature. The conversation emphasizing that taking care of oneself often leads to a greater awareness and respect for the nature and vice versa. We touched as well on the evolving attitude towards food, highlighting a shift towards healthier choices and sustainable practices like composting and a preference for local produce. Bianca, the young guest, stressed about the idea of sustainable fashion, discussing the importance of resisting, like the youth resisting fast fashion trends and promoting the use and or recycling of clothes. Overall, the discussion inspired and inspires still, because it's online, awareness and action towards a more regenerative lifestyle, with the hope that individuals will take small steps towards the improvement of their own lives and communities. And I think on the next slide we have the link, but as mentioned, we won't play it. It's just, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, so they filmed it before us, and we did it in Iceland a week later with very similar questions and very similar framework. And also, two generations, one in the 20s and one 60 plus. Who you see here is Svenja Fluger. She's our younger generation, and Sigurborg Hannesdeuter. She was with 60 plus participant. I found this discussion very enriching, and I felt so much wealth just by having the focus of bringing two people. And I really enjoyed, there was a section where we put them in the hosting seat. So Svenja had the opportunity to ask Sigurborg a question, in relation to her generation, and then vice versa. And that really had a lot of wealth that emerged out of those questions and them asking. So I'll just summarize a few key things that came out of it. At the end of it, all of us pretty much agreed that cross-generational dialogue is very important to foster understanding and new ideas. And it also encourages us to reflect on our own lives and how intergenerational wisdom can influence future decisions, also addressing today's social and environmental challenges. And I think that was the theme throughout. Svenja, she is, her reflection was in relation to her concept of home, and because she's moving from Iceland to another space. So how does home change over time? She was also reflecting on how the younger generation feels paralyzed by the contradiction between acknowledging climate change and continuing with the business as usual paradigm. And emphasize the need for contemplative practices like meditation or walks in nature to assist with this psychological burden of our environmental crisis. We touched on food as being very valuable to her as a cultural connection and social bonding. And in relation to technology, she emphasized that she acknowledged it has an educational and connective capacity, but also warns of the dangers of isolation with technology. And then we moved on to Sigaborg, and she reflected on her life, how she's only now in her 60s, really getting to understand who she is as a person, which was really beautiful. And her thread, she said, throughout was her spiritual insights and practices, but also emphasized the balance of having a balanced life, maintaining balance, but that continues to be a challenge. The beautiful reflection that we see here in the slide is that she reflected on how older generations value hard work as part of their identity, while the younger generation prioritizes the work-life balance. And that she saw that possibly greater compassion is required between the generations to foster mutual understanding. And she had an insight about how food related to her possibly some food addiction, and that shaped her understanding of now being more mindful of her food consumption. And from a technology side, she was worried about the long-term effects of AI and increasing time spent on digital platforms. So this is just a summary of some key highlights, but I really recommend you to listen to them. It was really insightful to go through the process and discover it. And we might even continue. There's been some discussion of continuing on this podcast series because we found there was so much wealth that came out of it. So watch the space. Next slide will just show again that where you can find it on our YouTube channel. And so we open up the floor now. We have 8 minutes for questions. Is there any burning questions, any curiosity that's emerged from anybody? I'm not seeing everybody so well. If you would like to maybe raise, there's a button here, isn't there? Raise your hand. Yeah, there's a raise hand icon where you see the react. There's a heart. If you want to raise your hand or write in the chat, you don't have to even talk. You can maybe ask a question in the chat. For some reason, I'm not seeing the chat either right now. Oh, there it is. Is there any questions? Oh, thank you. You posted the Zooms. Yes. Any questions? I have a question. Anka.
Please.
My question to you is, do you see anything that we've created in this project? Do you feel there's anything that you would like to continue on with, or you see there is some kind of future project you would might like to dive into from what we have created here?
Definitely the events. I think this is pretty clear to engage and promote the offers and need market. As well, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'll mention for the others, this aspiration about time banks, a concept very linked with offers and needs market. Time bank is a system in which the resource that is being exchanged is the time. Everybody can invest hours and take hours back. It doesn't have to be bilateral, but whereas it's very inclusive. I mean, it's for every age, every type of, I don't know, profession, income, and so on. It's very inclusive. And it's something that we wanted to do a long time ago. And now with this opportunity via Totelly and Post-Growth Institute, like it's relaunched our intention. And another important lesson for us from your side and Post-Growth Institute is this, the grounding techniques that you use in the events and that we try to integrate as well more and more in ours, despite the framework of the event. Like to make sure that people are more intentional and more present when they show up somewhere to spend some time resources from their lives. This what comes now. It was not a prepared question, so not a prepared answer, but at least that. And now, while listening to you, while hearing you saying about the podcast, I think it's a very good idea. In fact, as well, I spoke more. I mean, I didn't speak too much about my experience. But indeed, it was really enriching, and it went so natural. And their feed forward was as well very, very good. And I think, yeah, it's a good idea to create this type of registering dialogues on different topics might be, well, valuable at least. I hope I answered. Now
Yes, you did, definitely. And reflecting on that topic for ourselves, like I mentioned before, we also got positive feedback about I like the word you used, the feed forward. The feed forward, I want to say feed forward feedback. Haven't used that word before. Yes, the podcast seems to be something that is a potential. It obviously requires some more time and focus. But I think having these dialogues with bringing people of different perspectives and different life experience, whether or not it's cross-generational, but it could also be bringing diverse people from society together and having some shared topics to discuss. I think it's a very valuable format. But cross-generational obviously is obviously also very brings about those. For me, it's about the wisdom nuggets that we can, share and hear from each other. I think that's very valuable as a listener and as the participants from each other. And of course, the offers and needs market events for ourselves too. We will be continuing that because that's been one of our key events that we have continued. And as I mentioned, the trajectory of moving into having an app where we bring these areas of our 3 pillars, but also having the concept of having the offers and needs market on a platform is also in the future. And we will be continuing with discussions about our 3 pillars. So this very much aligns with the topics that we've had. Hilary, hi. I see you have a question. Please.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
And I haven't prepared it, but
Okay.
working in similar fields, my question is the sort of people who you attract to these events, because I'm from London, and one of the things I see, it's quite a privileged group of people who can afford to come and share these these resources that they have. And my intention is to reach those who are excluded, to make it more diverse. But I wonder if you have found ways that you can reach the most hard to reach audiences, because I'm feeling there's even commodification happening within the green space, regenerative space, in podcasts that I go to and those sort of things. So my question is really, who do you reach out to? What sort of people are you getting involved? And what type of diversity are you or not seeing?
Beautiful question. Thank you. I will leave it for both of us to respond. And it's nice to see you here. So answering your question, yes, diverse group for sure. We have had a very mixed group of groups. The way we have focused on it is specifically reaching out to different NGOs. That's been so we've had events for very specific groups. So often in the NGO sector, they themselves have their own communities. So we've, offered these events to the NGOs and they range from people working with peer-to-peer support. Another group is working with mental health. We had women's groups, and then we've had very open events where we just invite the public. I must say from our group, because our events are in English, we reach a very diverse immigrant population in Iceland. We do attract some Icelanders, but it's a very diverse group of immigrants that come to a lot of our events. So in terms of reaching different layers of society, I would say we have reached, to some degree, a very diverse group, and maybe possibly could reach a bit more, But I wouldn't say it's the higher end of people that can, just afford things, because all our events are for free. So we've really reached a broad range of people. But and it's always up to the people, really, if they take it the next step to exchange. And so I hope that answers your question. Anka, do you want to answer that one?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Hilary. I think indeed there is a privilege first to have time somehow, to have time to take part in an event, to have access to an online device or to a physical device to complete and to have access to internet and to find out about the event. So definitely we didn't touch the least privileged people, indeed. But I think, as well, that we were quite inclusive in terms of, we had some events for artists that, at least in Eastern Europe, in our place, they are not part of the privileged part of the society, most of them, the majority of them. And for activists as well, and for volunteers of our community or of our NGO, from our NGO. In the past, not OANM events. In the past, we organized refugee events that try to bring together refugees with the local community, like to catalyze somehow, to not to share, not in the same format, but to see how they can connect and exchange as well some resources. Yes, I don't know if I partially answered the question, but this is what I will say. And again, my mind goes to time banking, but there as well, it depends how you promote it. No, it's very valuable what Hilary raised, because, well, it's challenging though to touch. And even though if we can reach, because we worked a lot with homeless people and refugees, even though even if we can reach them, maybe we are not. What I feel personally is maybe we are not prepared well enough to interact and to facilitate interactions with them. We need special guidance for it, I think, for now. But yeah.
Thank you both. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a huge topic and discussion, and it's something that is possible. And you've done great work already, I think, in seeing this today. That the possibilities are what questions do we ask around it, and then see what comes from that, and then how it's my personal area that I'm looking into at the moment. So it's challenging, but I think it's possible, definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
And just this asking the question gives us that, continual questioning of how can we reach more diverse groups in our society. So thank you for that. So we are now at 11 o'clock when we want to start the Office and Needs Market. Could we have a quick 3 minutes? I think we definitely need a break. So let's do a bio break, 3 minutes, and so we will start at 11:03. Thank you, everyone. And you can switch off your videos if you want to, and then come back at 11:03. All right, everybody, it's time to come back. I know it was a short break.
I introduced a link in the chat, but maybe first, Tanya, you make a short introduction on what Offers a Need market is, or
I would like to first start with the grounding, as you mentioned.
Thank you.
Oh boy, I've got something on my. I can't get rid of the screen thing that I don't know. There it is. If you could just let me know that you're here by turning on your video, that would be wonderful. Then I know you're here. All right. So if we will just start with a grounding, just to get us present after hearing a lot of information, and now just having a quick break and getting us into the space of this next part of the Offers and Needs market. I'm going to invite you, you're welcome to turn off your video if you feel more comfortable with it. It's not a meditation, it's more just a relaxed gaze. So if you'd like to either close your eyes or look down, whichever feels most comfortable to you at this time. Get comfortable in your chair. Maybe do some body movements so you feel comfortable. And just take some deep breaths. Take a good inhale. Feel the air moving into your lungs, and a good exhale. And another inhale. And a good exhale. And the last one, take an inhale and hold the breath slightly. And when you exhale, give a good sigh. Now with that sigh, move your attention down to your feet. Feel your feet on the ground. You might want to wiggle your toes to give acknowledgement to the earth that's beneath your feet. Acknowledgement to the land that you are on, that you are connected to the land that we are all, our earth that we are all connected to, and the home space that we are all in our own relative spaces, all home. And now bring your attention back to your feet and move your attention up to your knees, high knees. Move your attention up to your hips and then up to your spine. Straighten your spine if you feel the need to give it a bit of a movement. Bring it up to your shoulders. Feel how loose or tight your shoulders are. Move your attention to your hands. Maybe move them around. And bring your attention back up to your head area, to the center of your brain. And again, just take a good inhale. Feel your body, feel yourself. And if you feel like it, give yourself a hug with your arms. High knee. Welcome body. I am present. I am here. And if you're ready, now open your eyes, come back to the space. And switch on your videos if you like. Thank you, everyone. So, Offers and Needs market. I'm going to ask you, we will move into the Offers and Needs market in a minute. Yes, this is the agenda. Thank you. Before we move into agenda, I just would like everyone to have a moment to connect with each other in a very quick way. If you could reflect upon what do you feel is alive within you? What are you passionate about? This is something that maybe is not related to what you do for work. It's something that you really feel alive and passionate about. If you would like to write it in the chat, I'll give you some moments to reflect on it, some 20 seconds. And when you're ready, if you could just put it in the chat, and I'll just read it out as it comes through. So I've written community and connection. It's what I'm passionate about. Music from Elvis. Sport, running in nature by Marcella. Communication and creativity, Hillary. Anka, edible plants. Miriam, herbs. Some themes there. Using herbs, finding, watching herbs in nature. Geoffrey Arch, Miriam, nature. Thank you, everyone. All right. So the agenda, as you can see in front of you, this process is usually run over 2 hours. We've condensed it into one, and we're running already a bit late, so let's get going. I will give a brief intro to the process, and then we'll have some time to reflect on our offers and then share it in breakout rooms. The same process will happen for needs, again, a reflection process and sharing. And then we combine it all in an offers and needs market, and then we'll close. Next. So the process is, it's very important in the process that we give time for each of these steps. So you will find there will be always a reflection process. This is giving us time to focus on ourselves and acknowledge our own abundance. And then in the group sharing, we look at what we've reflected on and then have a process of sharing that with others. This gives the wealth of both being able to share something and being heard by others, as well as to hear others and hear their wealth that they have to share. So this challenges our myth of scarcity. And finally, a step of connection. This is what happens in the exchange part. This is the whole reason for the offers and needs market. It's a relational exchange rather than transactional exchange. So it's redefining how we do exchanges through relationships. Elvis, next slide. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna, we're running right into it. If you have a piece of paper and a pen available, that would be helpful, because we will start with a reflection process.
And I shared before a link in the chat. I will put it now again. We will be using this spreadsheet today, but for now, grab this, a pen and some 3 pieces of paper if you find, and already think about these questions. We have, if I'm not wrong, we have 2 minutes for this, Tanya. So take your time to reflect. We have about 1 minute left. the questions that you see on the slide, but I can put them on the chat as well. But if you can reflect on these questions that we see, you can see them, right? Because I'm answering because it was a question on the chat from Frida.
Yes, you can see the slide. Maybe you want to read the questions out? Mm.
What am I passionate about? What resources am I connected to? What talents or hobbies would I love to share? What is something others always ask me about? Soon we'll be moving into some, I think we'll have only 2 breakout rooms maybe. We were supposed to be many of us. I think Romanian people that didn't feel comfortable with English just left, that were here in the beginning of the event. So maybe only 2 breakout rooms. And what we'll do, I will put in the chat as well what we'll do in the breakout. And I will read it as well afterwards. Sorry, I have several.
I think I'm counting 8 people. So yeah, 2 breakout rooms. I think we'll be joining it as facilitators as well.
So in the breakout room, you received it? No, you didn't receive it. Oh, sorry. I think I wanted to copy paste something else. Sorry. Let me try again to see if it works. Yeah. So you should choose from the notes that you took with the answers to these questions. You should choose 2 offers, 2 main offers, what we call offers, and to share with the people that you'll meet in the breakout rooms following this structure. If you didn't open yet the offers and need sheet, I will copy paste it again here. And you should follow the structure in this sheet. If you can confirm that you see it and you open it. Yeah, I see people that are already filling in information there. Tanya, if you can.
Yes. So I'm seeing 3 people, including myself, have filled in. So if you go to the link, you will see on the participant list tab, you will need to put your name there so we can see that everyone's there. And if you're on the phone, I know it's a bit challenging, so possibly you can, let's see, maybe people in your breakout room can help you record your information. That could also be a way to navigate this, because I know it's a bit challenging if you only have a small screen. All right.
This is what I would have suggested as well, that somebody else helps with the writing.
Okay. Oh, Miriam, there's an Excel spreadsheet So the document, let me send it to you, Miriam. This one, if you click on that link, it will open up a sheet where you will include your information. So do you want to just give them an idea of how you would do a sharing? Anka, when we go into breakout rooms, what is the format?
The format will be to say your name, the offer, like my name is Anka. I can offer 1 hour sharing about botanical art practices. I can do it anytime, but I would like to fix it at least 2 weeks in advance or 10 days in advance at least, virtual, and it will be free or barter. Was that clear enough? And I will write it on the sheet as well. So if we are ready, maybe we can go into the breakout rooms. If Geoffroy is ready as well.
So we're doing some technical, I think possibly we just have one breakout room because of the size of the group.
Okay.
That just makes sense. So then why don't we just have it all here?
Exactly. Yeah. This is the breakout room.
We're overcomplicating things. Oh my goodness. So used to the breakout situation. Okay. So exactly. Let's just simplify it and have it all here. We have 9 participants from what I'm seeing. So, all right, since we're having it here, do you mind if I jump in, Anka?
No, at all.
Okay. So how it, first we need to do a numbering system, like what order we will be sharing in. So imagine that we're all here and we're in a circle. Okay, and once somebody starts number 1, number 2, and so we go in this order of our numbering. So to do that, you just go to the 3 dots at the top of your profile image, go to rename, and just put any number between 1 and 9 in front of your name. Do you have it? So now I am 3. Frida, you're welcome to just put on your microphone and say your number now. Is everyone seeing that? Oh. Five for Hillary, yes. Anka, you need to be within 9. We're only 9 participants.
Sorry, I'm very busy.
2 for Elvis, okay. 2 for Dorothy. Number 8 for Frida. Excellent. Okay, we have number 1 and number 4 available. Maru, would you like to be number 1? Put you on the spot.
Number 1 of, sorry, I was busy filling up. Yeah, I can be number 1.
Okay, and Beryl will be 4. Okay, so now we have an ordering. So the next thing, as we discussed, the way we share is you say we don't need to say name because we see it. What are you offering? So we put some parameters. I am offering, she said, botanical art for 1 hour. Then when will it happen? So you can put some framework around that. I am available every second Tuesday, or I'm available within, give me a 10-day window. Where is it available? So either online or in person. And finally, what kind of exchange would you like to offer for? So I would like to offer it for free. I would like to offer it for a barter, or I have a fixed fee for this particular offer. And I think that was pasted in the chat, but I will just paste it once again. Ooh. Okay, so Maru, you've done this before. So we're just going to do a round of one each. And if anyone has a burning second one, you're welcome to share it. And as always in these, you don't have to share. So if you want to pass, you can just say pass. All right? So Maru.
Okay. Yep. So, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Is that good? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So let me open the note again. Where is it? Hang on, I'm using one screen. All right. Offers. What am I going to offer? I have 3 here. I'll say teaching tools for teachers and trainings. Availability is, well, it's all year, but it needs to be booked. Could be online or offline, in person, and the cost is negotiable. Thank you.
Who's number 2?
Tanya, you're muted.
I am offering discussions on permaculture because I've recently graduated my PhD. So I'm open to discussing ideas on it or potential projects. So for now, I'm offering a discussion. So half an hour to an hour. We can do it online. And of course, please contact me for scheduling it in. And I'm offering it for free. I am complete. Thank you. Geoffrey.
Hello. Is my mic working? Oh, wonderful. So my name is Geoffrey, and I'm offering one-on-one peer sessions for lived experience. If you're having some mental well-being struggles, I am a trained peer, and I can do that on request, whenever you like. Yeah, that's negotiable online, or if you're in Iceland in person. Most sessions are around an hour. The price is negotiable. Just for a cup of coffee, a nice smile as well. And well, my contact information is in the spreadsheet. So, on right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Excellent. I am complete.
The link doesn't work. But mental bites. Can you hear me? It was just a reaction on the link. Yeah, never mind. The Geoffrey shared.
Is it me now?
I think it's Hillary. She's number 5.
Okay.
Okay, so creative communication. So I'm offering 1-hour session in confidence in speaking, whether it's presenting material online like this or face-to-face in groups for anybody. And it's negotiable and online unless you're in London, then it's face-to-face.
Miriam, I do think it's here next. We had 2 4s.
Okay. So yeah, I do have a guest house, so I can offer space for workshops, and it's actually a place where I changed an old farm into a guest house, and you still see that it was a stable and a barn. I'm actually sitting right here, and I can show you around. It's made from, and that's a view outside. I'm living north of Iceland in between
Wow.
mountains, and it's a beautiful place to connect to nature and to do workshops. And I already did all kind of stuff, or people did already do some workshops here. So like yoga workshops and workshops related to education, and a lot to sports too. Here are a lot of outdoor people coming, and then it's sometimes connected like yoga and ski, yoga and hiking, knitting and hiking, knitting in the midnight sun, knitting workshops. So yeah, for sure, I'm making a living of it. So I'm making an offer, but I'm also in permaculture, and I have the idea that it's beautiful to share. So I'm open to any kind of possibility to get something else back, or to reduce costs by making me a member of the whole progress if it's a nice workshop. But then I like to take part of it. And sometimes I get people working here, helping me with some renovation or with animals. I do have 3 horses and a dog and cats. And yeah, that can offer all year round, and it's always something that you have to discuss in person with me then. I'm done here. Thank you.
Marcela?
Hi, my name is Marcela. So my offer is advice how to start running, because it's not good just to start running, because you can either hate it or you can accident yourself. So I have a lot of advices, all year, online and free of charge, of course.
Okay.
Apart from botanical art, I can share as well knowledge on edible plants, and I can do it in the same format. Available anytime, virtual or physical if you are around, or I will be around someday, for free. Yeah. Thank you.
Rita?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I am basically a cartoonist, and because I heard botanical art, I'm also like a nature illustrator, according to the like role model of Dr. Georg Steller. So I love drawing marine animals for you, and like also other stuff that is like also like small advertisings for your charity projects or something. Just if I have to involve a third person, like to make a printable layout or something, I would have to charge for it. And I mean, if you resell this for $1 million, please think of me. I am in a little bit of a difficult situation. So yeah. But principally, I would also offer this for free if you have a good reason to accept it. And I also offer like art lessons in person for like any age. Just for young children, I totally ask that like a guardian is on site with. Amen.
Thank you. So we've all shared one offer. Is there any burning second offers that you would like to share? If you do, please raise your virtual hand or physical hand. No? And that closes the office market. Thank you very much. Can we go on to the slides, Elvis, for the needs market? So, first of all, I'd like you to pause. No, we're jumping ahead. If you could, for just a few minutes, go back into the spreadsheet that we shared with you where you added your names. I'm seeing some names missing here. This
is what I wanted to say before.
Are we having challenges accessing the spreadsheet? So the idea is there's a tab in the spreadsheet. I see many people are connected to it, so there are people in it. So let me talk you through. So the spreadsheet, you will see on the participant list, you will see names, and then you fill in your name and your email. And if you've completed that, you will see another tab at the bottom of the screen saying offers. And this is where you write your offers in. And that I see people have already put in there. Aha. So I think people jumped in and put in their name offerings there. Okay. Another way to do it. So so at this point, please just make sure that your offers are live in the office sheet before we continue.
Just a clarification. We only have one sheet working on, right? Yeah, offers sheet. Okay.
Yes, at the moment there's only the offer sheet live. Yes. And if you've already put in your offer, maybe review the other offers that you see in front of you and make a note of possibly reaching out to that person who accepts the offer. All right, has everybody felt like they've completed this? I see everybody's here. Yeah. And also there is the potential, we are hearing the offers right now live, so there's always a potential of filling in the sheet later on if that's easier. So we will be moving on to the next part. This is the needs market. Same process, so find your pieces of paper and a pen, and you will be reflecting on the questions that you see in front of you, and I will read them out to you. So what is a challenge you are currently experiencing? And when we're thinking of needs, also to reframe it for yourself, maybe the word need doesn't feel right in your body. You could also see it as a request. You're requesting somebody to assist you with something. And here we're thinking about maybe an area in your life that you're currently feeling some challenges and you need some input or some education or advice. What is something you would possibly like to learn? So an area of growth. Is there something you would like to advance in? What resources would you like to be connected to? When we're thinking about resources, this means it could be tangible or intangible. So tangible resources, I'm needing a car or a ride from this place to this place, or looking for a job, or I'm needing some connections to a community or a network. I'm looking for a place to stay. Those are resources. Will to knit. What is something I need to support the support of other people to do? So here we're thinking of how can community assist you in an area in your life at the moment. So again, we're just brainstorming, writing it down, and then from that list, you will be sharing it in the group. Does anyone need more time? Raise your hand physically or virtually. A little bit more time. Thank you. All right, so now from your list, same thing, highlight one or two that you feel you would like to share in the group. And we can just keep the same numbering order. Everybody ready? So same process. You say the thing that you are requesting. So mine would be, for example, we are looking for assistance in information, education, or tips on creating videos and marketing. It could be in person or online. And what is it? When, what, how, where. Okay, I've done when, and we can arrange a time, and bartering or exchange would be preferred. So that's the process. So you say, what is it, when, where, and what's the exchange? Margarita, would you like to start again?
Yeah, No, I'm muted. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to a very practical one because I have a lot of needs. As always. But I'll go to the next practical one that I would need in the future. I will need a space in Reykjavik, a big space, because I will be needing, I will need to do a small workshop for teachers. It will be somewhere in fall, like after the summer. I already have the participants and everything. I just need a place. The price, it will be repairable if it's for free. I don't think I don't. I have a small budget, but not the Icelandic prices. I have it will be about 50 people in the workshop. Yes, so I will need that space. I'm already thinking about school. Of course, I can connect to schools and ask schools, Hjallastefna schools, to provide a space for me. But it would be nice if it's outside the school, so the teacher are not overwhelmed. They, when teachers get out of the school, they don't want to be in another school. It's a change their space. That's what I need. And maybe a co-facilitator that will handle the group with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see number 2 here. I said mine. Videos and marketing assistance, or just tips and picks. That's the area we'd like to grow more in and get more information on. So I'm complete with mine. Geoffrey.
I'm just interested in general in having casual conversations about lived experience. So if anybody has some time for that or feel like having a conversation about it, especially when it comes to youth and age between 13 and 35 that struggle with mental health and mental well-being, I'm very interested in having conversations about that. So, and same as always, like anytime, just on request and negotiable. So, yes, thank you.
Hi again. I'm working here with my guest house. I'm doing that since 2000. I'm really struggling with the development in tourism. I just don't like how it's done today, and I hate cruise ship. And I don't know how I can connect to people thinking same way. Well, I have an idea to connect to them, but it's quite challenging here in the end of a valley in the north of Iceland. And my what is it? Talent and using computer stuff is not so big, so it's not helping. So there's a lot of need and a lot of different need, but it all comes together to how can I do still what I'm doing, but in a good way, and where can I get the right clients and the right colleagues to go further without just excluding. My philosophy is I don't want to exclude. Like I say, I hate cruise ship, but I don't want to exclude it. People can have their opinions and they want to be also connected to them, but and hopefully I can convince to do it in another way, traveling tourism. So I'm a little bit lost right now how to do it in an effective way. Thank you.
A challenge, a new program that I just want to discuss through some ideas for clarification of not having too many ideas. So a communication program that is linked to mental health, and it's also linked to nature. So just a discussion would be great. The longer challenge being the resources could be conversational hubs, but I think similar to Miriam, a holistic approach to online marketing, not marketing, but co-creating, possibly where funding is available for the most difficult to reach people. So that's, yeah. And so if anyone's open to just the discussion phase, the program's in its elemental form, and offering a further potential for who that would be for and where it could go would be great on request.
I think I'm next. Okay. Resources for permaculture. I mean, where to start, how to start. This would be, I mean, information resources. Like, of course, anytime on barter would be great. If online, of course, and barter. Thank you.
I will need a permaculture design for the urban garden of our NGO small courtyard. It's a place, well, pretty, not a big space. It's about 400 meters, but it can be extended to 800 meters because we have access to the neighboring land. It's not urgent, but we'll start to practice urban gardening activities, and we'll have some agroecology workshops there. And I was thinking that that might be very useful to have some advice from persons that, well, know better the concepts. It's not urgent, as mentioned, but it will be nice to happen in the near future. It can be virtual, I think, if we can provide pictures and videos of the place. And I would like to offer a barter. I think that was it, no?
Frida, I think it's open.
Can you hear me at all? Like my phone died in the meantime. So yeah. And you guys broke off for a lot of time. So I would need help with like self-structuring. I would need a job at a museum or the like. And first you mentioned Pablo. This is actually Pablo's hat, and I need a way to get it back to Pablo. Amen.
Beautiful, thank you. So now we've heard the offers and the needs. There is another spreadsheet that will pop up magically now. If you go back into the spreadsheet, and if you could just record your needs or requests in the spreadsheet, and then we will continue to the last phase of the event. All right. We have 6 minutes left. Anka, the next part is...
The next part will be the combined market, the offers and needs market, and what we should do, we should choose, each of us, 1 or 2 offers and or needs that we feel more called to, and to share them to the others from what we just heard and read as well in the spreadsheet. And we can do that following the same numbering. This is what I will suggest.
May I chime in here?
Please.
Because our format changed, because originally we had different breakout rooms, possibly we just change this now of having a connection moment where people, because we've all heard each other's offers and needs, that this is the time where if we heard any offers or needs we would like to accept.
This is what I wanted to say, but maybe I didn't express it clearly.
Oh,
so thank you for thank you for intervening. And anyway, you're much better. So maybe I can give an example, or
if you can turn off the background music, I guess it's. I love the background music, but then it's a bit. Thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
So again, from what we heard and saw, right? We share either 1 or 2 needs and or offers that we felt called to. Was I clear enough repeating that?
So for example,
please.
May I give an example? So I heard 2 needs or requests immediately that I could respond to. So Marcella requested information on permaculture, so I could facilitate that. And for Anka, I heard some, again, permaculture garden review. I would be curious to explore that with you, and possibly I could get some others to join me on that as well. So those stood out for me immediately. Oh, and Miriam, I'm curious to talk with you about your guest house kind of networking and future possibilities. I'm curious about that. Oops.
And we keep the same numbering, or we just do a ping pong, or as we feel, or how do we do it?
We can just do ping pong style. So if anyone just wants to unmute and share anything they felt called to respond to.
Yeah. I would like to connect with Hillary. I think you have some interesting things to say, and I would love to have a conversation about it, especially when it involves mental well-being. And also Miriam, interested in the place up in the north. I think it looks beautiful, and I love the view. So I'd love to have a connection moment there.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I was going to say you too, so we're on the same page. Great.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's lots of, it's great. And also, Miriam, you've got such a beautiful space, like beautiful co-creation space for future possibilities. So those 2 people will be great. And of course, Tanya, because she's good at sparking ideas and getting clarification on too many of them. So those would be my 3. Is that enough to do? I'm not sure of the format, but that's it.
Yeah, that's perfect, because I wanted to connect to you also.
Okay, cool.
Yes, we can do it here. And permaculture, I can also advise, because I got to know Tanya in the permaculture design workshop. So I can hopefully give some advice, and I would love to. There was also Margarita with the teaching space you are looking for in the south. I know Alvisra is not in Reykjavik, but it's not so far from Reykjavik. And Alvedra is where we had our permaculture design course. And it was very beautiful, and maybe it's enough for 50. I'm not quite sure, but if it's in the summer, then they could use the bigger space too. So just an idea. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mariam. So I'll go next. I'm really interested. Where everybody's having conversation. I thought we really need another webinar, where we could just have a discussion and brainstorming about how this community can connect better and create a network of people that will. We tend to have, although we are working in different areas, it is interconnected, and I see a need of a discussion. Just it doesn't need to have a goal or anything. Just an open discussion, and maybe there will be a harvesting at the end of what could be, with the youth, with the community, with the education, with the space and everything. So that is just, I would like to share before I go. I really need to go soon. And thank you, Mariam, for putting the Alvedra. I'm one of the committee of Alvedra. So, so recently, thank you so much. I think the participants, teachers in this in Reykjavik. So I think I will do it in Reykjavik, which is always very expensive place to rent a space, and especially for, a nicer place. But yeah, so thank you. And thank you, everyone. I really need to go, and have a good Saturday afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else feel drawn to share anything?
Yeah.
Yes, Frida.
If I'm audible, I would actually like to connect to Anka about the botanical art, if I understand that right. You're drawing plants?
I'm not drawing. I'm pressing them and making some frames. I put a link there on the spreadsheet. There is a link. You can see Geoffrey has something in his hands, but now,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, my phone is a little bit very weird, but actually that's also very interesting here. Yeah, I would like to connect about botanical art of any kind.
I'm interested as well in drawing. I start to draw as well, botanical.
Yeah, well, maybe we could just exchange email addresses or something and just exchange ideas.
Yes. In the spreadsheet that we shared, I know that you had difficult access to it, but it will be shared in a follow-up email, and luckily there you'll find our emails, my email as well, and you'll be able to share your contact details as well. And maybe we should mention this, Tanya, that the list will be deleted now in the contact, in order to respect contact information and so on, will be deleted unless requested differently, will be deleted in 6 months from now. This is the practice that is recommended and that we follow.
So get your exchanges in 6 weeks' time.
Well, I will share if somebody else, we are a bit delayed, but it won't last, we won't be much longer. Just to share that I'm very interested as well in this place in Iceland. I imagine that I will do once a retreat anyway I was in Iceland before, and I hope to come back. But well, it's quite a big aspiration when I think as well about the carbon footprint and everything, but it looks very nice. And if I come for once longer, I would like to spend there some time as well. Hopefully we'll be in touch still via Tanya or so.
Miriam, did you found the needs sheet? It's in the same file next to the offers.
I can put again in the chat if needed. She found it. Okay.
Any other connections that you found within the group that want to be shared?
I can help Marcella with the cat sitting as well.
Thanks. I have a good coffee machine also.
I need a cat sitter too, Anka.
Well,
I saw your cat. It was behind you.
Yeah, just buzzing around here somewhere.
All right. So we will just close the session now. We're 5 minutes over, so we'll almost be finished. I'm just inviting you to share possibly something you found interesting about this process, any reflections, any delights, any kind of thoughts you just wanted to share with the group about the offers and needs market process. I'll go first. This is my first online experience facilitating it, and in a short period. And I enjoyed seeing everyone's engagement. I enjoyed the diversity. And even though we are in different places, I can still see that exchanges can occur no matter if you're not in the same physical location. So that's me, complete.
I can go next to say, I was about to say the same about you use the word engagement. I will use presence, despite the small number. I think it was really a really rich experience, reminding about the fact that it's always about the quality of the people being together, not about the number of the people being present. So I'm very grateful for that one, and for Tanya as well, for taking over a lot of the second part. Thank you.
I will go next. I'm also grateful that we connected here, all of us. And it's really interesting that it doesn't matter how different we are or different parts of the world. In the end, we find something together to share. So this is really a very good thing. So, and the rest, I wish you all to have a beautiful day.
I can go next. I just want to celebrate the amount of work you've done as a whole team of people, bringing this together, how important it is, I think, at this time as well, where people do feel disconnected. It's beautiful to see so many people enthusiastic, sharing similar values. And I don't actually think, in terms of human potential and what we can do together, that there's much difference here. So it warms my heart deeply to be a part of this whole webinar, but also the potential of what can be co-created from a group and a community of people rather than an individual who may struggle to do it alone. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. It's been, it's quite emotional. It feels very deeply rooted in nature, but in the heart of human potential. So thank you.
Well, as part of the team, I would like to say well done, Anka and Tanya. I think it was really well done. It was actually nice to be in the background and to see it emerging in front of me. I was actually here for the breakout rooms, but that didn't happen. But all good. I enjoyed actually seeing the whole overview, because I've been working on the videos and you just work them one by one, and it's very nice to see a cohesive presentation of the entire project. And then it reminds me of how many beautiful new connections I've made over the past 12 months. And seeing the images back from Romania brought up some good memories. It was a very nice trip, and I think overall a very awesome project. And I'm just looking forward to the next one with My Bina. So, and it's nice to see such a variety of people online. I've been a couple of times in an online one from the Offers and Needs Market themselves. But I did feel that was a bit more messy than this. This seemed very engaged and very nice altogether. So maybe it's also because I heard a lot of things that trigger my bells instead of just others. But yeah, thank you. It was very nice.
All right, then I think we are complete here. Thank you very much. It's been amazing to share this journey with you, and thank you for your presence, for your time. Your 2 hours from your Saturday. It's very valuable to us. So thank you for being here with us, for sharing. And yeah, we'll be sending you an email with all the information and links and so forth. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you, Anka, for co-facilitating with me. It was a delight and a joy. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.